Hello and welcome to Mr. Addley's Phonics. My name's Mr. Addley and I'm here to teach you the 6 tricky words from Phase 2. As mentioned briefly in previous videos, tricky words, or sometimes they're called red words, or some settings may use another term for them, are words which are phonetically incorrect. That means we can't blend them. So far, for example, with words such as common consonant vowel consonant words such as pin, we have p, I, n, pin. We can blend that word, we can segment that word. We break the word pin down. The initial sound is p, the middle sound is I, and the final sound is n. P, I, n, pin. With a tricky word, it doesn't follow those rules. They are words which have, they are an exception. So each phase, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, has their own set of tricky words. In phase 2 there are 6. There are more in phase 3 and 4 and 5 and so forth. So they become even more complex. Here are the first 6 tricky words. The. So at this point I've introduced the word, I've shown what the word looks like, I'm modelling the word, and I expect the children to repeat that word back to me. We have to stress that the strategies for remembering this word are to simply remember it by sight. We can teach the initial sound. All tricky words will begin with the initial phoneme. So the initial phoneme here uses the TH phoneme. Now I wouldn't teach this at this point because we haven't learned th yet. That's a phase 3 phoneme. But it starts with th, and we've got eh on the end, so that's th, eh, the. Well, it doesn't say the, so it's non-blendable. We know the first phoneme is th, but that's it. So it's the, that becomes a but don't tell children that, it's confusing them. We just need to make sure that that is the. Okay, it is difficult in the beginning, but children pick this up very, very quickly. We just need to be consistent with how we teach it. So a tricky word is the. Get the children to repeat. You say it, they say it. To. Go. I. Into. No. Okay, so if we look, we've got v, t, g, I, n. So they start with the initial sound is correct. This is a word, so this needs some extra, children need some extra support with this. As it stands alone in the sentence on the page, it's a word. When it's mixed with other letters, like here, it's a sound, it's a grapheme, it makes a phoneme. So this is the word I. So we've got the, to, go, I, into, no. So we've introduced our words, we've told our children what tricky words are, we've told them that they simply need to remember them, and then we need to think of some games, some activities, some challenges to help the children remember them, to make it interesting, rather than just look at that, remember it, and that's it. So what we can do is, we could, for example, let's take some away. If we start with just 3 in the beginning, the, to, go, close your eyes. I'll ask all the children to close their eyes. By this point there are a few giggles, it's becoming fun, they're laughing, someone's cheating, that kind of thing. Okay, open your eyes, which one is missing? So we've got that, the, oh, what was it? Forgotten, what was it? Okay, I want some hands up, somebody's going to call out the answer, it's inevitable in the beginning, that's okay. We're going to go with that because it's a fun game. but I'm going to eventually get them to probably talk with a partner. Okay, so each child will have a partner that they can talk to. What sound do you think, what word do you think is missing? Well, I can see the, yes, and I can see go. What's that other word that's missing? I think it's to. Oh, I think it's into. I don't. So they're using the words, they're talking the words, they're thinking, they're using their memory, they're asking questions to a friend. This all happens in just 10 seconds, really. And then I'm going to reveal the answer. It was to. Who got it right? Point to you. You got a point. Well done. And I'll do it again. I'll remove the and I'll remove go. And then I'll remove all 3 words. And do it again with the next 3. I wouldn't have any writing at the moment. Later on, yes, I will, but not at the moment. It's just, again, calling out. I'm introducing these words at the moment. Next lesson, I'm going to be moving the learning on, so from introducing to actually learning to recognise, to identify the words. So I, into, no, close your eyes. Which one is missing? Okay, and then try doing it with all 6. What we could also do, close your eyes and there are 2 words missing. Now it's getting difficult. Who can work out which 2 words are missing? Talk to your partner. You've got 5 seconds. Next, another strategy we can use is that I could list them on the board like this, and I could take. Let's say I take 3 away. I'm going to hide them in the room somewhere, and I will say to the children, "The is missing. Can you please find the?" And we've got 3 words to find. I might mix up a few other words as well, maybe unfamiliar ones, maybe even some graphemes in there as well. And when the child comes back with a word that doesn't say the, oh, I found it, here it is, have a look at it. Is that the? Yes. Are you sure? Ask your partner. No, that's not the, that's I. Put it back. Mr. Addley wants the. So it's all a case of, I haven't got it wrong, but it's just all the children are reading, all the children are talking, all the children are on task. We're learning the tricky words. It's active, and that's what we want. Another idea we could do is, again, moving them on a little bit, is writing. So doing the same strategy as what we've done, the same game where we turn the word round, close your eyes, but this time they would have whiteboards and I would ask them to write it down. No calling out. Don't want any calling out this time. Close your eyes, 1, 2, 3, which word is missing, write it down. Okay, don't tell me the answer, and then do it again, and I'll do it with all the words. Okay, so we're having a bit of a game here. There's a chance to win, to be awarded 6 points. Okay, swap boards with your partner, and then I'll go through the answers. The first word that was missing was I. Did your partner get I? Give them a tick if they did. If they didn't, tell them they got it wrong. What did they get wrong? How did they get it wrong? Did they write go with OG instead of GO? But all the time, I'm going to try and get the children to not self-correct at this stage, but peer assess is what we call it. So with their partner's going to be helping them. They're going to be helping each other. When they do that, they're always engaged. Whereas if it's the teacher, I've got 30 children on the carpet. I can't give everyone attention all the time. So inevitably, some children are going to get a little bit lost. When they're working with partners and they're peer assessing, they're always engaged. They're always on task. So early on, I wouldn't worry too much about spelling. If they write into as ITNO, well, okay, they've identified that into was the wrong word. They may orally be able to tell me it was into, but they spelt it wrong, but they formed all the letters correctly. Well, that's great. Next step is, now have a look at my into. Can you write it out correctly next to it? You've identified the word, you said the word, you know what the word says, you know what into looks like, but you've got your letters around the wrong way. So we've got a next step there. So there's all these little things. We don't expect everything to be perfect in the beginning, but all these games we can play. But the objective here is to learn these words by sight, and that's all there is to it. We have to make sure that the children do not try to blend them. They will try to blend them before they know what they are. When they see them in text, in their books, maybe they bring some reading books home, and Kipper went into the house. Maybe there's a sentence that says that in one of the Biff Chip books. They will read in, int, or into before they know the tricky words. So tricky words are really important. We just have to help identify them in text. Remind children, don't blend it. It's a tricky word. It's a red word. And that is basically it. Another game we can play is to use the tricky words to make sentences orally. So after a while, what is it? Go. Everyone calls that go. Okay, give me a sentence which has the word go in it. Okay, 5 seconds to talk to your partner. Think of a sentence. Think of a funny sentence. You know. Okay. Quite often it's quite hard because children do naturally think of these sentences in the past tense sometimes. So they will say, "I goed to the park." Is a common sentence that come up. But yeah, I would expect something like I would expect something like a command: "Go and get me a pen." Okay, so there's the word go. I like ice cream. Easy one. Into, go into the house. We're using go as well here, so brilliant. No. Again, could have a command. No, don't eat it. There are no more pens left. Give it to her. We had the in a previous sentence. Don't go into the house. There we are. We've used 3 tricky words in one sentence. Bonus point for the child who thought of that sentence. So this is also really important to get children talking, even if they're not actually thinking of the words. Once somebody makes a sentence, I will say that sentence again in case it needs correcting slightly, and then I'll get the whole class to say it, so they're all talking. Because even if they couldn't think of something for themselves, if they can talk someone else's sentence out loud, if they can orally recite someone else's sentence, that's going to help them. That's going to ignite their thinking and help them to think of a sentence next time, should they be asked. Okay, so we want them talking. We want phonics has to be interactive. Teachers talking, children talking, teachers giving challenges, children are accepting challenges, and helping each other, assessing each other, and moving learning on independently. So very important to keep it active and keep children talking. Don't forget you can get these tricky words for free. They are a free download from MrEarlyYears.com. I'll put the link in the description below. So get yourself a set of those, print them off, 4 to a page. It's a PDF, so print them off 4 to a page and laminate them, and they're yours to use for free. Okay, so those are the 6 tricky words for phase 2. Don't all introduce them all at the same time. I've introduced them all to you at the same time for the purpose of keeping the video short. But what teachers would usually do is they might introduce 1 or 2 words in a phonics lesson. So during phase 2, when we're learning our phonemes, at the same time as learning a new phoneme, we may introduce the word go and I together. Very quickly, just to introduce it. This is go, this is I, that's it. And then another day, we're going to recap go and I and introduce into. And this will happen over time until we've introduced all the words, and then we can start playing with the words. Then we can start hiding the words, we can start speaking the words, we can start making sentences with the words, and we can start writing the words. We can even use our graphemes to start building the words. So lots of things to do there, but important, introduce them gradually and avoid blending tricky words. That's all for now. Thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't done already, and give this video a like if you liked it. The next video will be phase 3, and we'll be introducing the new phoneme which makes the J sound, and that is the letter J. So phase 3 is the next video, and I'll see you there. Bye for now.